What is up guys, this is Kai from KaiCreative. Welcome to another filmmaking video. Today we're talking about the rule of threes. So what is the rule of threes? The rule of threes is essentially making sure you shoot your subject of interest in no less than 3 shots. So whether we watch movies, short films, wedding videos, documentaries, and even corporate videos, what we find is that there's an overarching story that's cut down into smaller scenes. These scenes are then cut down into clips, and we generally find that these clips are shot in no less than 3 shots. They're like mini stories. So you have these mini stories that feed into the bigger scenes, which then feed into the overarching video. Kind of like stories within stories within stories. So how do we apply the rule of threes to our filming technique? When we're filming a wedding or another busy event, it might be very tempting to move from location to location, maybe filming 1 or 2 things and then moving on. But in order for us to further develop the story, we need to film our subject of interest in no less than 3 shots. So whatever our subject of interest might be, whether it's a person, a group of people, or a thing, we want to film it in no less than 3 shots. We want to have an establishing shot, a beginning, we want to have a middle, and an end, thus telling a mini story which will then feed into the bigger story. We can illustrate this with an example we have here at a wedding. Here we have someone playing a piano in the foreground, and in the background we have singers. This is our first shot, or our establishing shot. Our second shot is the singers only. And then we move back to the pianist's head, and maybe we go for a 4th shot with their hands playing the piano. So that's our mini story. Another is with the groom and his groomsmen outside the church. As we pull focus to the group, we can see they're having quite an animated conversation, so we pull in closer. We can't actually see the groom's face in this shot, so we move camera position to get a better angle, and we can see him smiling and laughing and joking, and that again tells our mini story. Again, we have another example of the wedding here outside a barn type structure. There's bunting on it that says just married, and we can have this as our establishing shot or our first shot. For our second shot, we could zoom in and pull focus on the letters of the bunting, or it might be better to find out what's actually happening within the barn itself. Here we have a little boy and his granny, and he's taking her champagne flute from her. What is he going to do with it? Will he throw it all over her? Will he smash the glass? We zoom in closer for our third shot, and we find that he's put it down safely. And again, there we have our mini story. We can also apply this rule of threes to our corporate video productions. In this first example, we have this first scene, which is an establishing shot of 2 people having a conversation. We then move on to person number 1, who is talking. This is our second shot, and then we move on to person number 2, who has the reaction. That's our third shot. So this is a mini story within our corporate video production. We can use the rule of threes for any B-roll or event footage that we might film. Another example here is at London MCM Comicon, where we filmed tons of B-roll this year. We don't just film 1 shot and move on, we film in 3s. We catch more of the detail, which we can then weave into the larger story. Of course, if we are editing a trailer or are limited on the time that we have, we might decide to take just 1 or 2 of each of these clips. But if we are editing together a longer piece, like a documentary style video, we might decide to use all 3 to further develop the story. Another example where you can use this is in documentary filming. Last year we filmed the documentary Memories of Danoon, and we used the rule of threes heavily. First as establishing shots, and then at least 2 or more shots around our subject of interest. This really helped to mould the story in the viewer's mind, and also draws out the details of the magnificent locations that we were in. So that's my breakdown on the rule of threes in filmmaking. If you found this content valuable, then please share it. If there's anything else you'd like to know about filmmaking or videography, then let me know in the comment box down below. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to KaiCreative. Check out the other awesome content we have on the channel. Don't forget to imagine, implement, and inspire. And I'll see you guys next time on KaiCreative.